Hello, everyone. This is Corinne Lafont, your favorite radio host, your only radio host, and favorite girl, of course, broadcasting to you from the lovely island of Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean on Between the Lines. And, I always start my show off being grateful or thankful, as some may say. I am so appreciative, thankful, grateful to be here to see another day. It's actually so beautiful here in Trinidad and Tobago. Hardly any clouds in the sky, just wispy clouds in the sky. I see the birds, they're singing. It's just absolute blue, clear blue skies. Absolutely gorgeous. A great day for the beach. So I'm saying it out there so somebody might be able to pick me up later and take me to the beach, yeah? Just to hang out and hear the waves. Anything is possible. I'm also thankful to have my guest here with me, David Blair. Let me tell you what we're going to be talking about. Resilience. You'll understand the context of the topic in a while. Is based on, what inspired him to write his book, Dragon in the Clouds. Let me tell you a bit about David and we'll go straight into it. So David Blair, he's the creator and writer of the original story, Dragons in the Clouds. His most favorite and influential writer would be Rod Serling of the famed television show The Twilight Zone. I think I remember that show. Also Charles Dickens, A Christmas Carol. That is just a classic. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch it. To this day, that show has a place in his heart, A Christmas Carol. He was captivated by watching that show. All his work has a paranormal feel to it. He recently worked as a production supervisor for Enter Action Studios. He started his storytelling at the young age of 14, a student film called Destination Destiny. He was so grateful to have that opportunity. So I want to officially welcome David to Between the Lines. Welcome, David.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here, Corinne.
It's a pleasure to have you. Now, when you made contact with me to be a guest on my show, and I read your information, your introduction. You spoke about dragons in the clouds, sorry, and resilience was what inspired you to start writing that story. I want you to kind of take us back a bit before we end up speaking about Dragon in the Clouds. And a little later in the episode, in the interview, I'm going to be showcasing your website. So we'll get to that in a bit. But right now, let's kind of go back a bit to discuss resilience. What do you mean by resilience? And what were you going through at the time that inspired the story of Dragons in the Clouds?
Well, I was working on a screenplay with a friend of mine. I co-wrote a screenplay, and it was taking us a difficult time to come up with elements and stories, and we ended up finishing it. But I really wasn't quite happy because he wanted to go one way and I wanted to go another way. And so I decided I wanted to write my own story, by myself. And that's what I did. And I got the original idea from a song called Puff the Magic Dragon.
And I remember Puff the Magic Dragon.
I know, right? It's like everyone's favorite. Right?
Yes.
And so I was working on that. I was developing a story for that, and I was kind of telling people about it. I was having lunch with a woman that does the hair for Jane Kennedy, a producer Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy, a producer at Universal Studios.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
And I was having lunch with her hairdresser, and I told her about what I was working on, Puff, a story about Puff.
Mm-hmm.
And wouldn't you know it, about a month later, I was reading in Variety, industry magazine. It's called Variety.
Mm-hmm.
I read where Kathleen Kennedy had purchased the rights for Puff the Magic Dragon.
Wow.
I go, oh my God, I have to learn to keep my mouth shut.
No, keep talking. Keep talking.
Right? keep talking, I won't have nothing, right?
That's
So I
right.
was like, so I had the story uh, pretty much developed, but I didn't have I didn't know where to go, right? So because I didn't have Puff anymore, so I
Mm-hmm.
was like shopping around. I was like looking at dragons. I was really interested in dragons at that moment, and I picked up this statue, a pewter dragon, and he was holding a crystal ball,
Oh, wow.
and he was sitting on clouds,
Wow.
looking at a crystal ball and something. And within, I promise you, just within a minute of just holding the statue, this whole story that I developed and wrote just came to me.
Hmm.
And I bought the dragon, I bought the statue. And on
Mm-hmm.
my way home, within 45 minutes, I had the entire treatment, the entire outline of the story written. And as soon as in my head, and as soon as I got home, I started typing it out.
Wow.
And that's this now I have a finished product, and nothing stops me. Plus, I was going through some difficult financial times
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Mm-hmm.
I had just purchased I put down $100,000 on a home,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was dealing with and then me and my wife at the time, we were having problems.
Mm-hmm.
Things don't always go as you want,
Yeah.
and so I ended up losing my home
Mm-hmm.
after putting down that kind of money. And so, but I just never stop. I never stop. I never give up.
Mm-hmm.
That's my resilience, and my tip and my advice is just to never give up,
Yeah.
and keep working, keep
Yeah.
trying. I think the word "try" is the most important word
Yeah.
in the English vocabulary. Just
Yes.
to keep trying.
Yes. It's awesome that you didn't give up, and it's awesome how everything just flowed in a particular direction based on your heartfelt um, joy, wish, vision.
Right.
It just flowed, and really you have it's like you could talk about the law of attraction there. You attracted that into your life. And when you said you need to stop talking, no, that's when you need to start talking, because
Yes.
you can't shut off, or you shouldn't shut off the things that you manifest. You are actually manifesting the things that you want. And it frightens. I think it's fear that really came to you there, because you really saw what you asked for becoming real. So real that it frightened you just by the asking, the wishing of it.
Right.
Yeah. And the circumstances that you would have gone through that caused you to be resilient and still here with us today, thank God, makes you a stronger and better person to be able to handle what's coming. So when people are going through situations, challenges, adversity, etc., it's really a blessing. At the time, you don't see it as a blessing, but it is really a blessing to help you to become a better version of yourself, and
Right.
to prepare you for what is to come that you're not seeing with your own physical eyes. So I am humbled by that, and I hope those who are listening will be humbled by that. And I love your point about not giving up, because when you give up, what really are you benefiting from that? What's the
Nothing.
benefit? Nothing.
Nothing.
You
I have
give
a
up.
very
Yeah.
I'm very strong in my faith.
Mm-hmm.
I put a lot in Jesus. I believe in Jesus Christ, and
Mm-hmm.
I put a lot of faith in Him.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
he always carries me through.
Always.
Always.
Always. Always. The man never fails. He doesn't disappoint. He is always there. And even if you don't feel him there, he's actually working on something big. I could tell you that.
Right. Yeah, I really believe so.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
but that's one reason I'll never give up either, is because of my belief, my faith.
Yes. Yes.
This
Yes.
world is such a beautiful place. I'm just so happy to be here. Much less doing anything else. It's just so happy.
Exactly. Just being here is enough. Yeah.
Yeah, just to exist
Yes.
is
Just to exist is enough. Yeah.
yes.
Just to exist is enough. That's why I always start off my show being thankful. I'm thankful just to be here. to witness, to experience everything, It's not a matter of being rich. It's not a matter of having the biggest house, the best car, the what. It's not that. Because those things go. Look at how you lost your house.
Right.
You invested in it and you lost it. What could you hold on to that? What would you do? Put a rope around it, pin it down to the ground? What? you
Yes.
These are
Yes. I
material
agree.
things. These are material things you cannot hold on to. They come and they go. They come and they go. But just being present, being alive, that is, there's no price that can be placed on that. No price.
None.
Wow.
None.
So what's your interest with dragons? Do you still have that statue around? The one holding? Do you
I
still
sure
have it?
do.
Can you
Yes.
show it to us? Can you show it to us?
Okay. Hold on 1 second. Let me get it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I'm holding.
All right.
While we wait on David to get that lovely dragon, I remember Puff the Magic Dragon. I'm talking in the meantime while we're waiting on you. Hey, yay!
He
He's
lost it. He lost his crystal ball.
I noticed. What happened to his crystal ball? It looks like a little plate he's holding now.
See how it is how he's sitting on clouds.
Yeah, I noticed. What happened to his crystal ball? Oh,
Anyways, I was picking him up, and the whole story came to me just by looking at this little statue.
you were meant to see him. Where was he? In a store, you said.
Yes, he was in a back in the time, back in the day, I think they call it a head shop,
Mm-hmm.
where they had pipes and all kinds of stuff, like mystics, potions, and
Yes.
have, they have fluorescent posters and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they have this, so they had this dragons, a lot of dragons, and this is the one that. Plus, at the time, this is the one I could afford to buy as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's
Oh,
good. At least you took him home with you. He
yeah, I
was
sure
call, he was
did.
calling you. He was calling you.
He sure was.
Yeah. What's your interest in dragons? What it is that attracts you to dragons so much? What do you think the connection is between both of you?
Well, to be honest with you, it started with Puff the Magic Dragon. I love that song as,
Mm-hmm.
as a child.
Mm-hmm.
I always imagine myself as Jackie Horn, the little kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then I loved dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
In my story, Dragons in the Clouds, I refer them as a species of dinosaur.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I grew up drawing dinosaurs. I was known in my elementary school
Mm-hmm.
as the dinosaur guy, that dinosaur kid. I drew dinosaurs for classrooms, and I was always drawing dinosaurs.
Nice. So
So
you're probably a dinosaur in your other life.
maybe,
Yeah, fire breathing. Yeah,
right,
fire breathing. That's nice.
right.
But they are mystical creatures, though. I've seen dinosaurs in different, um, how would you say that now? Perceptions. They would perceive them in different ways in the movies and animation. Some are very gentle. Some are very, rough, coarse, fire breathing, harmful kind of thing. Some are trainable, that they become your pet and protector. Some are. Tell us about the one in your story.
Well, my main character is a young boy,
Mhm.
and he has a dinosaur, a young dinosaur as a friend, kind of like a boy and his dog.
Mhm.
That's the relationship I have. The dinosaur, his name is Rago, Rago.
Okay.
Rago, and naturally I call my little. I kind of named my character after my son, which is my name as well, David.
Okay.
So David and Rago, they're friends in the story, and they get caught up in a war between two species of dragons, and that's the mother, the other main character is a woman, Jaisha. She's widowed throughout the story because her husband was killed at the beginning, and she has to save her son in the story because they get taken away by the battle between the dragons, and they have to save their mother. Dragons are going to David's house, and Rago roars and gets their attention, and they start chasing after him, and they split up in the forest, and that's where the battle begins.
Wow. Is any of it based on parts of your life, or
No.
nothing? It's all fictional.
Yeah, fictional.
Okay, great. So when do you think your ideas are coming from to put all these things together? Was it because you touched the dragon in the store?
I'm just creative. I just like in my bio, I started telling stories that I was interested in creating back when I was in 8th grade. I worked on a student film called Destination Destiny. It was about an astronaut that goes exploring on other planets, and the planet that he went to was barren and like Mars is, right? And while he was gone, there was a nuclear war on Earth. And so when he comes back to Earth, it's barren now as well. Okay. That's why it's called Destination Destiny.
Very good, very good. So do you write a lot on dragons alone, or do you have other stuff that?
I do. I have I have another story that's finished, and I'm getting ready to release it. It's called Meaner Than the Devil.
Ooh.
It's about a mass killer.
Okay.
A mass murderer. And
you really have these paranormal thoughts in your brain. What's going on with you?
I know, that's my brain. I just come up with these crazy ideas. I also have a Western.
A Western?
A Western, and it's called The Hunt for the Apache Kid. So I tell stories.
Okay. You know. So you're connected, you're in California.
Yeah.
And you're close to, or you have access to Hollywood. Are any of your stories in the making for film or production?
No. I did work on, I do have another story called The Adventures of Captain C. It's about the Bermuda Triangle. And that was optioned to a production company, and they're working on it, but it takes a while to get projects green lighted. Okay. And so we just have to be patient.
What does it take for that to happen, though? You want to kind of enlighten us?
It takes financing. It takes money, basically. People that there are so many projects, so many movies that are made that don't get distribution.
Wow.
There are so many independent films that nobody ever sees. So it's hard work. It's not. People only see the finished product, and only 100% of the actors in the industry, only 5% make a living. Wow. And only 3% are famous.
Wow.
There are so many people that are waitresses and working fast food restaurants, get acting jobs here and there, but coming back to resilience. To be a creative and talented person, you just have to be resilient and keep working.
Yeah. I'm hearing myself echoing, coming through in from your computer, so it's bouncing back. We're talking about resilience, and I think each one of us has that sort of characteristic in us. It's just some have more based on the situation that we may be in that challenging us, to the extreme, and I know,
Yes.
the challenges in Hollywood, when people start to tell their story, you just know them. Like you said, at the end, they're famous. You hear their name, it's all paparazzi, clickety clack, but when they go back to their story, you hear what they had to go through and how many years they have been at it in order for them to achieve some sort of measure of success.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I've been in this industry for 20 years,
Wow.
and I've met a lot of people, a lot of stars, and it's a lot of dreams.
Mhm.
I've
Mhm.
seen a lot of dreams.
Yeah. And some in their late 40s, early 50s, things are now starting to happen for them.
Right.
It's
It takes.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. I like it though. I like it. I like
Mhm.
being in the. I do like being in the industry, even
Yeah.
though it's difficult.
Yes. That is awesome. That is awesome. I want to switch over to your website here. Let me just grab a page. Let me grab a page here. 1 second. Give me the website name again.
www.
Mm-hmm.
Dragons in the Clouds. All one word. They're just Dragons in the Clouds, no spaces.
Mm-hmm.
.com.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up. Okay, wow. Yeah. All right,
Mm-hmm.
hold 1 second. I'm
Yeah, I
going.
have T-shirts for sale too.
Yeah, hold on. I'm sharing it.
I just thought I'd show you my. Oh, hello.
Hi, I'm here.
Okay, hi. Yeah, the camera kind of messed around.
No, it didn't. I just showed my screen. So my
Okay.
my picture my picture is gone. So I'm showing your website. Are you seeing that?
Yes, I am.
You can still hold up the t-shirt. You said you wanted to show us a t-shirt?
Oh yeah, I'm wearing it. I'm wearing one of
Oh,
ours.
oh yeah, nice. Stay where you are. Let me just stop sharing for a moment. Yeah, dragons in the clouds. That's cool.
Right?
Yeah, that's cool. Who did it?
A friend of mine,
Nice,
Mark. His name is Mark. He works for Amblin out,
nice,
out of Brazil.
nice. Dragons in
Hmm.
the clouds. A nice little book here.
And I also have the cover, the book cover, as
Hmm.
a print as well.
Nice. So, what age group are we looking at for dragons in the clouds?
Well, it's 10 years and up, 10 years but there's elements for everybody
Mm-hmm.
in the story. Adults alike will love the story.
Yeah, I'm seeing the t-shirts here as well. You have.
It's an easy read though for 10-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's not no big words. You don't have to look at a dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
It's an easy read.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful reviews. People said they've stayed up all night to finish the story.
Yeah, nice. And you have it in both ebook and hardcover.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And persons can put in their email address and get 10% off their first purchase.
Right?
Yeah, I'm seeing that here, so that's great. What's the cost for the book? Let's go back.
15.99
Okay, I can't remember
and
seeing that here.
and 4.99 for the ebook.
Let me see. Okay, the price wasn't here, but if you click on it, I guess you will see the price.
Yes. Yes.
What I like is the images. Who did your illustration for you?
Just the different artists, but this is the one right here. Like I said, his name is Mark.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Amblin. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I love these images. They're nice, very detailed. I
Yeah, they
love
are
them.
beautiful. They are different scenes in the story too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, I like it. It's very, very nice.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's very nice. I love the detail and the color. It's very beautiful. And when you're depicting dragons, you really need to have that sort of mystical look, eh?
Right.
You have to know the color scheme and all of that to really represent them properly.
Correct.
Yes, this is awesome. Let me
Thank
just let me just go to buy on Amazon here
you. Okay.
so that persons can see that they can get the Kindle edition here, and of course the paperback is right below it as well for $15.99. So hold on, let me just come back to your website. So once persons subscribe here, how do they get 10% of their purchase? How does that work?
When you're going to purchase it,
Mhm.
I assume.
No.
I actually
No.
don't know the intricate works of.
Oh,
I do have a publisher that's set this up,
okay.
so I assume when you go to checkout,
Okay, they will give you a code or something.
exactly.
Yeah, okay, great. Okay. All right, but this is a pretty simple site. It would be great to have some information on you, so that people can get to know who you are. It is just a store, but there should be some information about you here. So I would.
Yeah, I was suggested to have a website with my name,
Mhm.
but it's not about me. It's about the story.
Yeah.
I mean, I do understand that readers like to get to know the authors,
Mhm. Mhm.
but I'm because like I have this story, Dragons in the Clouds, right?
Mhm.
And when I release Meaner Than the Devil,
Mhm.
I'm thinking I might have to change my name or use a pen name for that one
Pseudonym for that one.
because I don't see the same audience,
Yes. Well, there are pros and cons to doing that. So you have to assess that decision,
right?
because a pseudonym for a different book and then people know you for this one, eventually they will find out that you're connected to both of them. I encourage my clients, because I'm a publisher, to go under their name. Just be open and transparent about it. It doesn't matter what type of genre you're writing in. Just put your name and you have the brand. You're the brand because you're the name behind the book. So it's best if you use your name, davidblair.com, and everything just falls under you. You don't have to worry about branding 5, 10, 15 years later. Just like how you're thinking about the book on the devil, that you have to switch it and change your name. It's too much for branding and promotions.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, just be consistent. So davidblair.com, and you have all your books, anything that you want to create, whether it is a movie, anything, it comes under davidblair.com. Yeah. So it's not a
Yeah,
matter of
I
it's not a
agree. I
matter of
agree with
people getting to know, but people want to know the author. They want to be able to interact with the author. They don't want to interact with a book. They want a real person. Yeah.
that. Okay.
So this is
All
this
right.
is awesome. This is a great start for you.
Thank you
It's a
so
great
much.
start for you.
I did do that. I did do the website myself.
Nice, nice, nice. Well, it's a great start. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, it is.
Yes, it's a
I
great.
think so.
It's a great start.
Considering I did it myself.
Yes, yes. And
It's
how has the response been since you've been doing it?
oh, everyone loves
Mhm.
it. You're fortunate. I'm getting wonderful reviews.
Very good, very
I
good,
knew
and
I
that's important.
right. I knew I had a special story,
Mhm.
and it's as original as you can get.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, everybody knows Puff, or they should know Puff. Well, in our time, they would know Puff.
But yeah, Puff has nothing to do with this story though. Now
No, but
he
if you
originated
grow
my
up,
thought.
yeah, if you grow up on Puff and you could relate, the whole dragon thing, it would help you to relate.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And the
But
premise of my story though is that the dragons, there's two species, plant eaters and meat eaters.
yes.
And the meat eaters were the ones that were eating people and the livestock. And the king of the kingdom, he he had enough, and he gave a decree and order to annihilate old dragons.
Wow.
A family of plant eaters were friends of Merlinus, the wizard,
Mm-hmm.
and they went to him. A family of plant eaters went to him to see if he could help them, save them.
Mm-hmm.
So the wizard gave them the spell of weightlessness and told them to go to the clouds and hide in the clouds in the cover and come down at night to eat. Well, there was an evil apprentice. His apprentice, who had grander ideas of his own, had some meat eaters hidden in a cave. And when he saw the spell of weightlessness, he memorized it, and he gave that same spell to the meat eaters. And once they were weightless, they tried to eat the apprentice. They go, nobody's going to control us, right? And they went up to the clouds as well, and they kept their evil ways, and they kept eating people. And finally, a war starts between the plant eaters and the meat eaters in the clouds. And thunder is a dragon's roar, and lightning is when dragons are blowing fire. So whenever you see a lightning and thunderstorm outside, there's a storm. It's really dragons battling it out.
I like that. Let me ask you one question before we close off, because we're near the end, or we're gone over time. What I always like to ask, what's the moral of the story? What's a life lesson, one life lesson that can be taken from your book?
To never give up, to be loyal to friends, and just stick together and keep together and work it out.
Yeah.
And you will prevail.
Yeah. Stick together, be loyal, never give up. Yes.
Never give up.
Thank you so much, David, for sharing the mystical type of creatures. I would be surprised if we ever see one of these days flying in the skies or landing in our streets.
Oh, I have videos. I don't know if my story is fictional at all.
Yeah.
I have videos of dragons.
Wow. That's for another episode. That's for another episode.
Paranormal, right?
Right? That's for another episode. But thank you so much. Thank you so much, David, for being on Between the Lines. I appreciate the work you're doing, the resilience you've shared, because we need that, especially more now than ever. People not giving up and trusting themselves and having faith and belief in yourself, belief in a higher source, and sticking together and knowing who your friends are, knowing who cares for you and want to help you.
Right.
And just trust. Yes.
Thank you, Corrine.
Yes, it's a pleasure having you, David. All the best to you.
All right, thank you. It was a pleasure.